Good evening and welcome with me, Varun, on Privatic to the fourth session on art in data science. And in this session, we will be looking at how to access cells, and also we would be looking at some inbuilt functions in R. So the agenda is already known. It is how to understand, how to access cells using coding, and also how to check out some basic and some inbuilt functions in R. Now, what I would suggest that you people do is please pause the video right now and check out some inbuilt functions in R. Do some research. Please open up Google. Try checking some inbuilt functions that you could probably come across and write them down and see how many of what you've written are here so that you can spot them. All right. So now let us quickly go back to the R Studio, and here it is. So I'm starting to access cells right now. Okay. And the first step I will be doing is, cell is obviously something that's found in a data set, right? So I am accessing my data set. My data set has 7,000 variables and it has 21 columns. All right. And when you access a cell with a row, okay, this is how we would probably want to do. So here I'm taking the tenure column to be in common in most of the cases. And before we do that, let us just open it and let us just check what we have here. All right, so I guess I've already opened it and my tenure column. So the first cell says 1. Okay, so now what I would be doing is I'm adding a value of 8 to it and I'm saving it into the same cell. So now let me do that and let us check what we have. And here you can see I have 9. Now let us come back and here you can see that the value is now changed to 9. Similarly, I want you to start working on addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division for different cells. All right, now here I'm considering the ninth row of my tenure column and I'm multiplying it with a value of 9. So 9 is right now 28. So let us just multiply it with 9 and we'll see what happens. So it gives me a value of 252 and here also it is changed to 252, right? So guys, that is how it basically works. So here what I am basically or what I am doing is, if you can see, I am accessing my customer churn dataset which I have saved here. All right, I'm sure you all know how we save a dataset. It is saved into customer churn, and in the next step I am adding 8 to my tenure. Okay, then I am multiplying 9 to the ninth cell of my tenure column, and it has given me a value of 252. Then with my eighth cell I am now dividing it with a value of 2, and let us just check what my eighth cell is. My eighth cell is 10 right now, and let us divide it with 2. And I should ideally have 5, and so it is. Now let's come back and check, and it is changed to 5. Now we can also use logical operators, like I want to check all the tenure which is greater than 60, and when you do this and when you can hit all the values with false are values which are not greater than 60, and the values with true are the ones which are greater than 60. Now if you want to separate or filter all those values which are greater than 2, then you can use a subset function. And how do we use this? I'm using a subset function for my customer churn dataset, within which I am accessing my customer underscore churn underscore tenure, which I have created on the top. And while accessing this, I'm giving all the true values that have been selected, and I'm passing it into my customer underscore churn underscore tenure. So now let me do that. And when I hit a view, I can now see that I have only those values which are greater than 60. 252, 62, 69, 71, 63. I would not be having any value which is less than 60. You can also try this for different values. And how many people do we have with a tenure of greater than 60? You can say that it is somewhere at around 1400. Then we have multiple conditions also that can be used, multiple logical conditions. Like here I'm using customer churn, and I'm using, or I'm rather, selecting the gender column, and I'm using my male condition. Okay, male condition as in we have gender to be male and female, so I'm selecting male. And also I'm going into my senior citizen column and I'm selecting 1. So now let us just come and let us see how my senior citizen column is. So it is 0 or 1. 0 indicating that he is not a senior citizen, and 1 indicating that he is a senior citizen. So now when I am accessing these kind of columns with multiple conditions, I would have to use an ampersand symbol. This is how it is. And also when your column has a name, or it has a spelling or alphabets, then you would generally use double quotes. Now once that is said and done, I am saving this into CGS. All right, and now let's come here. Now okay, let me just execute this. Let me view CGS. Okay, so this is my CGS. But then this would be a very abrupt way of understanding, correct? Because if I look at it, I would not be able to make out what is what. So now what I would be doing is, as we have just seen, I would be using my subset function. And within my subset function, I would be selecting customer churn, and I would be marking my CGS values to be true. Only those values which have a true is what I want to see. So now I'm hitting and enter here, and I would click on view, and now you can see all those values which are true. All right. So when I say true, the values would be male. Okay, so here all the values are male. And then customer churn senior citizen is equal to 1. And you can see that all my senior citizens is 1. So all males and all ones. So this is basically a report of all my senior citizens. So how many senior citizens do we have who are male? Then you can say that we have 574 observations. As simple. So all this that we're doing right now is a part of exploratory data analysis. And this becomes very, very important for all those people who are beginning. And I mean, experience is not a very important criteria, but all those of you who are in, the field of data science, I'm sure you understand, or all those of you who have been working in development, it is very, very essential for us to understand two things. The first one being the problem statement, and the second one being how do you go about the problem. And in order to do that, the first and the foremost things that is available as of now is exploratory data analysis, and you wouldn't want to miss on that. All right, now here I want to check all those conditions which wherein I want the customer to be male and should be a senior citizen as well. But here I am using an OR condition. Either it is DSL or it is fiber optic. Both of them belonging from the same column. Here it is two different columns. The first one is gender and the second one is senior citizen. But here it is internet service and internet service. So now let us go ahead and execute this, and let us view. And as this is not understood, the next function that we would be using is subset. So now I would be using my subset function and view function. All right. So now you can check all of them. Okay. So you have values here which are now filtered. So you would be seeing that you only have DSL and fiber optic, and you would not be having any other values that are populated. And now we are going to the final, the final code, or the final block for this page. And here I want to check all those values where the senior citizen is not one, or wherein the person is not a senior citizen. In all those cases, because we do not have something to represent not equal to directly like how we write, we use ampersand, sorry, we use the exclamation mark equal to. So exclamation mark equal to means not equal to. So here I'm saying all those where senior citizens is not equal to 1, and I'm saving it in C underscore not senior. And now if I view this, I would be having true and false. Obviously, because it's not understood, we would be using the subset function. Here it goes, and now I would be viewing it. And when I see it, here you can see all the values which are only 0. Okay, now you must be having a query, that is why do we have to write this as not equal to 1? Can we not write it as equal to 0? Well, you can definitely write it as not equal to 0 also, but then this is also a way that you can express it in. This is also not said to be wrong. So this is what we have, or this is the way how we access cells within the data set. All right, now let us go to the next part, and let us understand the inbuilt functions that we have present in R. All right, so now let us begin with some inbuilt functions in R. Now let us understand this, and before we do that, let me just delete this so we're not confused. All right, so that is done. So now here I am reading this data set, and this data set has 50 observations, friends. And what is it? It has 50 observations and 5 columns. That is R&D spend, administration, marketing spend, the state, and the profit. So these are the different, uh, columns we have in the data set. And now I would just be trying to show you how some very simple inbuilt functions are built upon. And if you have done your homework, or if you have done what I've asked you to do, you should be able to write down a list of some functions. Okay, so now here the first one that we are doing is we are checking out str, that is string of data set. And when you do that, you would be having information about all the columns. Okay, so here you have how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth one, profit, which is 5. Okay, then we have the head. Okay, now what does head do? Head generally gives us the top 6 records. Now whenever you would want to view it, you can come here and you can type in head, and this should give you the requisite information. See, so see the first or the last part of vector. So it gives you the first part or the last part of vector, and this is how it works. All right, so now here what I am doing, I am using, and now let us say I just want to check the first 2 columns, sorry, the first 2 rows of my 5 columns. In that case, I would be giving it a comma 2, and then you can see that I would be having only my 2 columns. All right, I hope this is being understood. Okay. Now the next one is tail. When we talk about tail, you would be having the last 6 rows. Okay. Then we have the end row. End row is to check how many rows we have. And here, as you can see, we have 50 rows. And then you have end column. End column is to have 5 rows. So 5 columns. Okay, and when you have 5 columns, you would be seeing the output to be 5. Okay, then I would now want to check the you know the mean of my R&D spend. And what is my R&D column? My R&D column is this. Okay, it has pretty huge values, and when you see the values, and when you kind of check the mean of all these values and put it by 50, you would be having this value. And then I want to check the minimum value within my marketing spend, and the minimum value is 0. Let us just go and cross check. Oh yeah, we have a couple of zeros here, so I think that is now pretty much understood. Okay, then I want to check the maximum values. The maximum value is 4,71,784.1. All right, and then you have something called as the range. Range gives you the minimum value to the maximum value. All right, and then you have sample. Sample is basically, it gives you random set of 5 values. Now here you can change this for different values and you can check. So I have 3 random values, and you would see that most of the time the values wouldn't match both of the places. And then I'm using my table, and table is to check how many places I have from where. Okay, like within my state I have 17 California, I have 16 Florida, and again I have 17 for New York. So table basically gives me the number of values within each column, and like how many distinct values that I have. So that is what table would be doing for us. So these are the things that I have prepared for you in this video. And in the upcoming video, we would also be checking out some more things, and we will be looking out, talking about visualization and graphs and plots. All right. So I hope this helps. And if you have any queries, then please feel free to write to us at Pravatech or hello@pravatech.com, or you can also reach out to us on 8147111254. Thanks a lot for being there. This is me, Varun, your trainer, signing off. Have a great day there.